John Sumrall is going to the college football playoff, and you can still find Florida fans that are not happy with John Sumrall being their head coach. I don't know. Tulane has just gone where he prophesized they would go at his introductory press conference. He's made 4 straight conference championship games. I believe he's won 2 of them now. And the Green Wave take care of North Texas, as I thought they would, 34-21. And it was the Tulane defense that wound up stepping up in this game because they controlled the game up front. That's what it came down to. Drew Messmaker threw 3 interceptions, mostly because he was getting hounded all day by this Tulane defense. And so their ability to have improved significantly from what they were doing earlier this season is why the Green Wave are going to the college football playoff. Will they be the 11 seed or the 12 seed? Will they play Oregon, Ole Miss, or perhaps somebody else? We don't know, because as I record this show, the ACC championship hasn't played itself out yet. But what a job by Tulane. What a job by Jake Retzloff and the Green Wave. They ran the ball to the tune of 200 yards and 3 touchdowns as a team in this game, 199 if you want to be exact. And, oh, what a shock. In a big game, the team that ran for more yards won. Jake Retzloff didn't throw the ball a whole heck of a lot. He was 13-22, 145 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. This was a play-in game for the college football playoff. We can debate the merits of whether or not the G5 should automatically get a team in, whether they should get 2 teams in, if the ACC champion winds up being Duke, whether that's fair to teams like Miami or BYU. I don't think it is, but you know what? I don't make the rules. I just abide by them. I just operate within the confines of the structure that has been built. So for Tulane going into the college football playoff, are they dangerous? That's not how I would describe them. They're having an awesome season. They've got a really good head coach. They have an it factor to them. They also won the turnover battle in this game against North Texas. I don't think as far as group of 5 teams go, Tulane is the most dangerous that we've ever seen. Last year's Boise State team was really good. Darn near beat Oregon in Eugene. Was competitive with Penn State. The Nittany Lions pulled away at the end to win by 17, but that was a close, hard-fought, competitive football game. Tulane's one game against a playoff team earlier this season, they got smacked around by Ole Miss. Now, that's not me saying that should automatically disqualify them from the playoff, because I give their athletic department props for putting 3 Power 4 teams on the schedule in Duke out of the ACC, Northwestern out of the Big Ten, and, of course, Ole Miss out of the SEC. And, by the way, Northwestern, bowl team, and Duke in the ACC championship games. Not a bad couple of wins. And as this debate has played itself out throughout the course of the year, I've long been in 2 camps, because there are 2 different ways that I look at this. I've always felt Tulane has the best resume of any of the group of 5 teams, and I always felt like Tulane was the best team. But here's the thing, and this goes back to the BYU conversation as well. What I think, or what some other national pundit thinks, just shouldn't matter. Whenever you, would not, like ESPN, man, they're just crushing their own reputation with stuff like this. They put out a graphic that said Notre Dame would be favored against Miami, BYU, and Alabama. This is a G-rated show, so I can't give the full, unfiltered thought of what I'd like to say to that, but let me give you as close as I can. Who in the world cares? Who cares? Results on the field have got to matter, man. I do not give a rip that Notre Dame would be favored over Team X, Y, and Z. Or that I think that, if BYU were to get in and be the 11 seed and play Ole Miss, yeah, I'd probably pick Ole Miss to win the game. I don't care, because what is my priority? To make sure the regular season doesn't become even more diluted, so that when you're watching these games each week, the results mean something and matter. And instead, the committee's telling us that they don't. So what my opinion is, which of course I'm going to come on here and share, because that's the nature of this particular program, Of course, I'm going to have those thoughts. That doesn't mean it should directly impact what happens. So Tulane's going to the playoff. The question is whether they'll be the 11 or the 12 seed. They play in the American. JMU plays in the Sun Belt. So if Duke does beat Virginia, then that puts JMU in, and Tulane, even though they have a one-game worse record, they've got a much tougher strength of schedule than James Madison does, who won their conference championship game, did not roll as I thought they would against Troy. They ended up winning by 17. Game was really competitive all throughout. Thought we were going to see an absolute stunner there, but the Dukes were able to get it done with future UCLA head coach Bob Chesney. And Monday show, I will get back to all the coaching carousel drama, madness, and such. But for the next couple days, football. What a concept to talk about on Locked On College Football. So Tulane should be the 11 seed. Would you rather go to Oregon? Would you rather go to Ole Miss? How is it all going to shake out? Does the SEC champion automatically get a bye? I would think that is the case. But then again, Bama's loss to Florida State is truly terrible. In the fourth best power conference, a team that couldn't make a bowl game beat Alabama by 2 possessions. And again, results need to matter. So bringing this back to the Group of 5 discussion, good for Tulane. The highest of vibes on my fan mood assessment in New Orleans, because, man, the Green Wave, it meant a lot to John Sumrall, meant a lot to those players. And, yeah, he's going to Florida. But guess what? He's done a heck of a job. Heck of a job. It was a great hire by the athletic director. You're going to get some money from Florida since there was still plenty left on his contract, and go hire another good head coach. But big statement for Tulane to be here in the college football playoff. Another Group of 5 outcome I wanted to just note. Boise State owns the Mountain West. I picked UNLV to win the game. I was wrong. I was wrong. I do think it's odd that Group of 5 conference championship games are not at neutral sites. I think that's strange. But BYU has beaten UNLV in the Mountain West championship game 3 straight years. Did you know that? There's an Alabama component forming with Boise State in the Mountain West where you still got to beat them. You still got to knock them up. I can't describe what's going on there other than a mental hurdle. And Boise State's going to the LA Bowl to play Washington. They're not going to wind up in the playoff. You know, if JMU had lost, then maybe 9-4 Boise would have gotten ranked if Duke had won. I don't know. But we don't have to worry about that chaos scenario there, because it will either be James Madison or it will be Virginia for the 11-12 spot in the college football playoff rankings, which come out tomorrow and I'll have a reaction to here on the show. But it's incredible. Boise State 8-4 this year. Remember, they started with that blowout loss to South Florida, and then head coach Alex Golish, who's of course now at Auburn, and they did beat UNLV in the regular season. And UNLV, what a great season for Dan Mullen to go 10-3, be in the Mountain West championship game. Incredible first year. Could be a Power 4 head coach again one day at what is becoming Rehab U down there in Las Vegas, which is not a bad place to be, quite frankly, as a Mountain West program, if you can keep attracting high-level head coaches. But 3 straight years, the last team to win the Mountain West that wasn't Boise State was the Kalen DeBoer coach Fresno State Bulldogs with Jake Haener at quarterback. It's been Boise over UNLV 3 years in a row. There is a Boise hurdle in Las Vegas. I just had to shout that out because I couldn't believe, man, they did it again. And it was a 21-0 lead, and then UNLV stormed back, and Boise State held on at home. The Broncos will look back and go, dang, if they had been 11-2 right now instead of 9-4, I bet you they get the nod over James Madison to go back to the college football playoff should Duke win. But alas, we're sitting here. They'll go to the LA Bowl against Washington. So that's your Group of 5 check-in for the week. Appreciate everyone listening. I'll see you next time. And until then, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.